I started in the gang at, something like 16. You know, I had what we call when you get turned out to the game like boosters. I used to take girls shopping, and they used to go in these different stores at the mall, steal different merchandise, and at the end of the day, we would, chop it up, give me a third of the merchandise for me driving them out there and different things like that until my gang elevated into the Pimp gang. But the early part of the gang coming into it, 16, 17, I'm out in the streets, I'm trying to find a way. Like I said, I didn't want to do them other things like sell dope and drugs because that wasn't my makeup. So I was blessed to be able to become a ladies' man because what happened is early in my childhood, me and my sister Alma used to go to school together, and she used to tell me, boy, the girls like you. And I just took to that and I ran with it. I was young at 16 and 15, things like that, when girls used to come ask my mother, can they take me shopping with their check? Early stage of my gang, man.
What's the arrangement with a girl and a pimp? So she makes the money and brings you how much of it?
The arrangement is how I make the arrangement. And it go like this. You make the money and you bring me all of it. And I decide on how we chop it up and how we make it happen. My responsibility is to be her everything, her mother, her father, her sister, her brother, her lover, her daddy, all of these things. So in my time of playing the pimp game, my women never did have to really go shopping. I did all of their shopping. They make the money and I supply everything. We used to go to the medical center every 3 months. They know when I come in to check the girl, make sure they didn't have any kind of disease and that they was all right. I played it on a top shelf how it was supposed to go. Once my gang became official like a referee with a whistle, I was off and running. Once I became number one in the game, I was number one for 13 years in a row. And that's being voted by your peers, the players in different.
If you've been injured in a car accident, don't call an attorney. Use this AI app instead. That's what I did, and it's how I got this $100,000 check in less than 30 seconds. I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, if you've been injured in a car accident, I'm about to turn your world upside down. So I was in a car accident a few months ago. My car was totaled and I ended up injuring my arm. I was in a bad situation, I missed work, and to make things worse, the small check the insurance offered me wasn't enough to buy a replacement car in this market. Luckily, I was scrolling on my phone late at night and came across a video just like this. So we've all heard of AI before. It's smarter and better than humans and will eventually replace us all. But I've never heard of an AI lawyer before. I found this app called the Case Connect Compensation Calculator. It's 100%
sale that split between their legs. I had thieves, professional thieves that know how to go and bring 10,000 Rolex, Cartier, you know what I mean, furs home, you did? And that's what made my gang top shelf because I had the best of the street life females. I was considered number one on being able to work them black girls. It was a struggle, man, but I played it.
You've had girls of all races, right?
Well, yeah, I have girls of all races, but my official thing was black girls, and black girls wasn't easy to handle. And I want to tell you a story about a black girl. Her name was Michelle. She was like, my bottom chick. I mean, she would bring home other chicks that made my gang solid. And, I had my girls working on the west side on this street called Lake Street, Lake and Halsted. And I didn't allow my girl to date blacks. And so a black guy pulled up to date a trick, and she refused to date him, and he shot her 5 times. Couple of bullets in her head and her body, and she was rushed to the county hospital in Chicago. I got the call that this had taken place, and me and my sister, and we went to the hospital, which was the county hospital at the time. And when I got there, her mother was there and her sister was there with her, and I walked in with my sister. And soon as she seen me, she laying there with tubes and a, IV everywhere. And the first thing she said when she saw me, it said, "Daddy, I can't wait to get out of this bed. to go get you your money. Her mother looked at me and said,
is he,
what
Super
have you
Pimp,
done
bro?
to my
What the
child? I
hell?
said, nothing.
Man,
That's
her
just
dad, they talking about
dedication,
some, go
man.
get your
Pure
money.
dedication.
Oh.
That's the same female that would get shot in the leg on the stroll, run home, tie up her leg, change wig, and go right back to work. It was a dedicated process. It was by choice, not by force.
Will you have sex with the girls that are in your stable?
Yeah, I had sex with the girls that was in my stable. I had some very beautiful young ladies. I mean, they was young, tender, and wild. And it was just amazing to have such a stable of quality, beautiful black women. And it was amazing. You know, I used to lay in the bed, you know, the thought of that with 7 chicks and, you know what I mean, having a chick on every arm and every limb and being able to satisfy and enjoy that thrill is every man's, you know, imagination.
And the girls would work where? On the street?
Mm-hmm.
The girls work on the street corner?
Girls would work on the street corner. They would set up dates and work in the hotel, wherever the money called, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know, you use the street corner for instant cash, you know what I mean? If, you know, some trick set up a date for future action, you know what I mean? All is well on that too, but, you know, majority, you know, you pimping, you know, you on that concrete, you know what I mean? You got them chicks standing out there, you know what I mean, 7, 8, 17 hours a day, depending on the paper and how they getting their money, you know what I mean? You reward honesty and, you know, a chick that's blessing the table, you know what I mean, putting it on the dresser. You know, she might get a little day off, she might get a chance to go out and have a ball and enjoy herself, or pick her favorite piece of jewelry or materialistic thing, whatever it is, you know what I mean? And that's why I was considered such a good pimp, because I gave back. You know, my chicks looked like I looked. You know, it wasn't that I had on diamonds and they didn't. They wore diamonds too. They wore mink coats too. They had custom made threads on, you know what I mean? I mean, hey, we was matching, you did?
You did prison time? Have you done prison time at some point?
Prison? No, I never did time in the prison, and I don't think there's no place for a player. My game was official like a referee because I played it as a player, not as a thief, not as a robber, not as a burglar, or none of them things. I sent a chick in my place to do all them things so I wouldn't have to do that. That was the thought of having a prostitute, that she would do your bidding so that you don't have to do that. No, I've never been to the penitentiary. As a matter of fact, I never did drugs. I don't even curse. You know what I mean? And when my girl was into that, you know, getting drugs from the tricks and different things like that, I didn't want it. I would give it away. You know what I mean? Because I know that if you put that drug in their veins, you was gonna lose your game.
So your girls would be mostly drug-free?
Huh?
Your girls would be drug-free, or some of them would use?
We smoked weed, and we even at a time smoked the PCP, which is known to be a hallucinating drug, very powerful. But you know what I mean? Cocaine, heroin, and all that kind of stuff, acid, pills, seed, and all that was out. You know what I mean? It was not a part of my game, because I know one thing. I wasn't going to be able to play my game as on that level if that was involved. I've seen a lot of players that was top flight get crossed out because they mixed drugs in their game.
So you're from Chicago, as am I, which is where we know each other from. But how is the pimp game different in different parts of the country?
You talking about 2020 or a period?
Or either one.
Well, one thing about it, like everything in life, is a time for it. And the pimp thing in its glory days was best in the 70s, early 80s, and then it drifted off into the drug gang. A lot of pimps got hooked, their females got hooked, and it changed the course of the game because it was no honor, no respect in the gang. A lot of top five players that thought they could play the drug gang and pimp crossed themselves out because They got
about to
hooked on
jump
it.
on
They
his wave,
females got hooked on it. She left them going
okay,
to the
like-
drug deal
okay, like-
to continue to get her habit
No,
satisfied.
like,
So it
no.
completely put a
I'm
black
not
eye
to this nigga,
on
bro.
the game. A lot of guys that were
got
dedicated to the
good
game,
bust
like
down bullets on
myself,
his neck,
they
too.
continue to strive because they were striving on the success of their knowledge, not on a
Definitely,
drug,
old nigga Mosey, like.
not on manipulation, but purely just telling the truth to a female.
Listen, like,
You know what I told my girls that,
Magical Pimp.
hey, I go to Hollywood, you go into Hollywood with me. And I did that. If I go to the White House, you going with me. I took them to Washington. We went to the gates of the White House. I mean, a woman can appreciate a man that say what he mean and mean what he say. I'm not saying I didn't have struggles and difficulty. Other pimps trying to pull guns on me. I didn't knock pimps and they didn't want to receive or accept
Just say
the
knock the
bumping.
pimp.
I had my ups and downs, but I was dedicated to the game to be able to play the game
He
fast,
just said he-
play the game the right way. I didn't want no shortcut or
What's this
no
nigga out here
easy
doing,
way
bro?
to becoming number
it's not
one.
weird, bro.
I wanted to grind from the concrete to the executive suite so I be that earn what I receive. And it wouldn't be no doubts about it, just like it is today, that I am considered the chairman of the board of famous players everywhere, all over the world, and recently anointed in the last 2 years, Pimp God of all players
Pimp
all
God
over
of
the
all
world,
players. Oh
which
my
is an
God.
accomplishment.
This nigga-
I didn't know that I would
Legendary.
achieve that. Not being Pimp God is sure enough a fascination, but to be able to
Is this
become
the
number one in
IRL
the game
Pimp May
for all
Slipback?
them many years.
Pimp
And
May
when I
Slipback
got into
IRL?
the game, I just wanted a bad chick. I wanted a diamond ring, a diamond watch, a fur coat, slick car. I didn't know that I was going to be a game changer in the game, that I was going to become number one, that I was going to be able to lay out game to the other players and be able to go cross country and crown and make kings in different cities. I didn't know that. I didn't know it would escalate to that. But becoming dedicated to the game
Son gotta be a bitch
made me
IRL.
realize it. And then the thing that made me know that I was really ready for the game, it was back in the 70s. I was on the road with a female, a thief,
Oh,
and
God,
she had
this
went
gotta be
out.
pushing at least 50.
And then she got busted. But what she did is, they had her handcuffed to one of them little rails. She got the handcuff from around the rail and jumped out the window of the police station. And we on the road now, we out of town. She come to the hotel, I'm fresh now in the game now. You know, I'm on the road with her, she already seasoned to
Early
this.
60s,
This is amazement
late
to me. I'm on the road getting my first dollars. And here she come back to the hotel room with handcuffs. Now I'm a young buck. I'm barely 20 or 21.
on.
I mean,
got
I'm
handcuffs
freaked
put on
out
him?
and I'm
Freak ass
amazed.
nigga?
But I didn't panic.
He was 20 in the 70s.
And what I did is believe this, and this is the truth,
70 years old, bro.
that I always thought about what they did on TV where they would take a bobby pin and pop the handcuff. And this the honest to God truth.
so, like,
I took a big bobby pin and stuck it in there and wiggled it, pop, goes the handcuff. That was the most amazing thing to me. It proved to the chick that I was qualified to be her man, and even to this day from the 70s, she's still at my beck and
Bring
call.
it in, brother? Is that what I'm hearing?
And that's over
Hold on.
40-something
Hold
years.
on.
And I proved to myself that I was ready for the
Watch
game
out.
when that
Watch out,
happened.
bro.
I'd have never thought that would work,
Turned up.
but I wasn't panicked, and I did it, and it proved
Might be turned up.
to the female
Hey, anybody
that
trying to
I
put
was
handcuffs on me to be
qualified
my
to be
walker?
her man.
Go ahead
We
and do
left
it.
that town and
Free to do
drove
it.
500 miles to the next city and continued the marathon.
Oh my God, I would have.
The things I just explained it to you earlier is a certain criteria.
I know he used to stick his thumb in
You
ass.
start with the female. Then you go to the materialistic thing, like the car, your clothes, your jewelry, where you stay, the characteristics about you. I'm internationally known and locally accepted. I'm known all over the world. I done made the name Don Juan official.
Bro, I don't understand it.
Used to be, people said Don Juan, they think about some character in the 1816. You know what I mean? That was a lover, which that's what I've become, a lover. You know what I mean? And made that name official. I cash checks in that name. You have to have that criteria. A lot of guys do a lot of talking, and you know, you've seen a lot of them different videos, pimps up, hoes down, American pimp, and they say a lot of things. But I'm the one that could clarify all of that stuff they say to whether it's official or is authentic, you know. I mean, guys say a lot of things, and it impressed a lot of people that see it that really don't know about the game. And it make it seem like it's wow. But you know what I mean? When the truth is told, you get better action out of it, because a lot of that fake stuff they be saying, it just don't give you longevity.
And what are the qualities a pimp will look for in a woman?
Huh?
What are the qualities a pimp will look for in a female?
The qualities that a pimp need to look for in a female is whether she would give you her money. See, a chick could do a lot of things, man. She'll do a bunch of things. Don't worry about it. I'll go back on you, player.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
You come forward too.
Chicks will do a lot of things. You know what I mean? She'll suck you. She'll F you. She'll do a lot of things. But if she don't like you, she ain't gonna give you her money. So when she do that, that means she think a little bit above the normal about you.
So,
And it ain't so much about you being the number one lover, because you know when you pimping, you send your chick out, she get big size, lip size, fat size, all size. But that don't matter to her.
If you ain't paying
What matter to her is to get home to the person that say that they care and love her. That matters more than all of that. So it ain't competition for a pimp to out nail a chick than a trick. A trick job is to do just what he do. And a real female understand that. It ain't about love. You dig? You know what I mean? Like we said, it ain't matrimony with us. It's macrimony.
Now, you're a very flashy individual. Driving the streets of Chicago, you're driving in a custom Bentley or Rolls Royce or Cadillac, green and gold. Everything is custom. The wheels, everything. And then the way you dress is very flashy as well. Did the police ever give you?
Well, one thing about it is.
Wait, no.
Did the police? Everything. And then the way you dress is green and gold. Everything.
Oh, he's definitely been a crackhead before. Oh, 120%. He's definitely been a crackhead before. Yo, bro, like.
Everything is custom. The wheels, everything. And then the way you dress is very flashy as well. Did the police ever give you?
Well, one thing about it is.
When they start doing
I told
that,
you, you know.
I know some top tier smokers, and they ain't doing
It's
that.
in the pudding.
Hell nah.
And what I mean
Hell
is,
nah, cuz.
what you see is what you get. You know what I mean? I can't say I'm one thing and then look another way. It's a certain way that you have to look as a pimp. You know what I mean? A lot of guys out here, you know, they do the gym shoes and the blue jeans and things like that. But what I say is, you ducking your cleanest bill when you do that. You did? Because, you know, as a pimp, I have chained up to 4 times a day. You know what I mean? You couldn't go without a high cleaners bill. I used to pull up to the cleaners and didn't have to even go in.
I've seen you 20 times. I've never
Listen, you want to skip this ad. I would too.
seen less flashy than what you're wearing today.
Well, what I'm saying is, when
Always.
I used to come up to the cleaners, I used to have 3 bags, me and the prostitute. I didn't even have to go in. The people would come outside the cleaners, get the bag, and go back in. You know what I mean? You got to dress. It's part of the game. Ain't no getting away around it. They talk slick about them blue jean suits and them jogging suits. I don't care if they call 10,000. They ain't gonna never beat a tuxedo and a white shirt out. Never. You did? And one thing about it is what a real pimp player know that blue jean is a workman material. You don't want that on your skin, man. You don't even want the thought about you in a working jean. Overalls. You don't do that. I mean, y'all get away with it because y'all playing it y'all way, not the way of the game. I'm telling you, man, you had to be a fisher in the 70s to be in the presence of real pimps. You couldn't get away with that fake game that they playing today and come all up in the middle and start talking and things. Real players gonna tell you how it is
47? Yeah.
and how it's supposed to go.
What do you do when one of your girls gets out of line or does something you don't?
Okay, let me tell you something about when my girls get out of line. They gotta be checked. Cause see, one thing about it is, in that pimp gang, in order to be successful, you have to create some fear in that female. You have to tell her that if she do something wrong, that you gonna kill her. And you have to instill this in her to when she do something wrong, and you whooping her and checking her, that she say to you, Daddy, please don't kill me like you said you was. You can't play the game without creating some fear because females, gonna check. It's a personality thing, and everybody got their own personality. And the thing about it is, in order to be a good pimp, you got to put yours inside of her. It can't be her personality because she don't know. See, the thing about a female is, from birth, she being told what to do. And that's all she know is what she told. Once she a little baby, her mother and father tell her what she have to do. When she get her big brother tell her what she got to do. When she starts school, they tell her what she got to do. When she get to college, they tell her what she got to do. When she get a husband, she always used to being told what to do. So when you don't tell her what to do, she run into destruction because she didn't listen to instruction.
And then smoke the air like.
You got to find a chick that got the same understanding and want the thing that you want. It don't have to be on your level, but the same dedication, the same drive, the same sacrifice, the same will to want to, neglect everything, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, in order to make this dream come true. That's what you have to do in the pimp game in order to become successful. They have to neglect all of them things. But while they neglect them, you taking up on that. You make sure the mama cool, the kids cool. I didn't have chicks that had babies. That each holiday we have to make sure they taken care of. School, back to school supplies.